They're kind of doing some drills here. Let's see them cook up for a little bit. Chelsea, no look. Caitlin, side dribble. Main thing is they're enjoying themselves, man. I love it. Okay, Angel to Stu, easy work. It seems like Caitlin is hanging with Kelsey a lot. Paige always yelling. Paige yelling about anything these days.
Pro sports has never been a warm or welcoming place. It runs on one rule only: what are you worth to the business? You either bring in money or you live off someone who does. For years the WNBA stayed alive on NBA funding while bleeding cash, and a core group of veteran players spent that whole time acting like they were household names around the world. Then things changed fast. Caitlin Clark showed up, smashed viewership numbers, and dragged serious money into the sport almost immediately. The veterans did not welcome it. They tried to grab control of something they had no hand in building. What is playing out right now is not a normal labor fight. It is a league slowly destroying itself from the inside. The WNBA Players Association is threatening to kill the 2026 season over demands for top salaries, free housing, and half the league's revenue, all while acting like their strike threat actually scares anyone. But the strategy has already fallen apart. Clark walked away from the noise, showed up at Team USA camp, and sent her message through her actions alone. No attacks, no drama, no interviews. Just results. She has made it clear she is the one piece nobody can replace. The league cannot function at its current level without her. She can function just fine without the league. If you want to see exactly why union leaders are worried, watch the Team USA camp footage. It looks nothing like what the WNBA Players Association has built. The gym feels alive. Players are smiling, working hard, and genuinely enjoying themselves. Caitlin Clark, Breanna Stewart, and the young core of American talent are competing with energy and coming together without any of the political weight hanging over them. These are top athletes who still clearly love what they do. Now compare that to the heavy, draining mood around the WNBA labor situation. The veteran leaders have built their whole campaign around playing the victim. They want the public to see them as underpaid workers being crushed by wealthy owners. They want every headline to be about anger and threats. Things have gotten so bad internally that people inside their own organization are leaking private documents to reporters. Clark did not have to say a word against any of it. She just walked into that gym and played. That alone sent a stronger message to sponsors, networks, and owners than any press statement could. She is the investment that comes without the chaos. The WNBA leadership looks scattered and reactive, while Clark looks like exactly what a global sports brand wants to build around. She is showing the world that the bad energy in women's basketball is not coming from the sport itself. It is coming from a small group of veterans who built their identity around control and are now watching that control slip away. The union believed they could drag Clark into their fight and use her name to squeeze the owners into giving them what they want. Clark had no interest in playing that role. She stepped away and found a much bigger stage to perform on. To really see how badly the players' union has read this situation, you have to take an honest look at what these veterans are actually worth on the open market. In any serious negotiation, threatening to leave only works if the other side believes you have somewhere better to go. The WNBA veterans believed fans wanted to watch them specifically, that their version of the game had its own drawing power separate from Clark. They did not just believe it, they tested it. They launched the unrivaled 3-on-3 league as a direct way to prove they could pull ratings and revenue on their own. It failed immediately. The moment it aired, viewers checked in, saw Clark was not part of it, and left. TNT had invested real money hoping to ride the interest that Clark had generated and ended up scrambling to recover. Players like Aaliyah Boston got hurt in games that meant nothing, which added physical risk on top of the financial loss. The veterans used their best argument and the market said no without hesitation. They actually paid to find out that a national audience without Caitlin Clark is not a national audience at all.
Mind you, look at the teams while y'all looking too. Look, Angel knocking them down, dog. I know it's quick. Caitlin with the game winner. Caitlin with the game winner, dog. Got the stun on him. Come on, man.
Now flip it completely and look at what the market does when Clark is actually in the building. One game winner in a practice drill goes viral before the clip even finishes uploading. That one moment is the whole story. That is the kind of pull that makes a $2 billion television deal make sense. That is what team owners, league executives, and network partners are all watching very carefully. When someone like Adam Silver or a franchise owner sees Clark go viral from a workout, they are not just watching basketball. They are watching their investment perform in real time. So if the Players Association actually follows through on a strike, the owners are not sitting in a panic. They are sitting with clarity, because they know the one asset worth protecting is already outside the conflict entirely. A cancelled or delayed 2026 season does serious damage to the veterans. They lose income, lose their public presence, and lose any ability to cover the housing costs they have been pushing the league to pay. They stop being relevant quickly. Clark does not take that same hit. Her audience simply follows her to the FIBA World Cup qualifiers, which are being broadcast on TNT, the same network that pulled away from Unrivaled after deciding the veterans alone were not worth the spend. The union is sitting at a negotiating table with nothing real to threaten. The sports world has already seen that the product without Clark does not hold. Trying to pressure billionaires from that position is not strategy, it is denial. And this gets to the real reason the strike push exists, a reason most sports media avoid saying out loud. This is not about helping the average player in the league. The average player wants a deal signed. Their representatives want a deal signed. Close to 80% of the league is sitting without a contract right now, just waiting for something to move. The veterans pushing for a strike are doing it because stopping the season is the only move left that puts any kind of brake on Clark's rise. The thinking behind it is straightforward once you understand the history. These players spent years running a small league on their own terms with their own rules. They decided the culture, controlled how younger players fit in, and shaped the way the media covered everything. Clark came in from Iowa and rewrote every standard they had set. New fans arrived by the millions, and those fans had zero connection to the old guard or their expectations. Clark landed huge deals and instantly became the face of the sport in a way that left the veterans feeling invisible. The bitterness did not build slowly. It hit fast and it hit hard. They had spent 20 years building something and watched a 22-year-old step in and become the entire conversation. And they know what her second season looks like when she comes back without the rust, fully prepared, and with 2 years of pro experience under her belt. A work stoppage takes a year away from that. It quiets the momentum for a moment. It signals to the new fans that their loyalty to Clark is not enough to keep the league running. But this is the part where the whole plan breaks down. A strike does not damage Clark the way the veterans are expecting. It does not cut her value, push sponsors away, or make networks reconsider. If anything, it pushes the conversation in the exact direction the veteran leadership is most scared of. The longer the league sits without games, the more people start asking whether the WNBA is even necessary for Clark to keep growing. Every quiet week adds more weight to that question. Fans following Clark do not need a league logo attached. They need her. The league is where she currently competes. That is not the same as the league being the reason she matters. Owners think about this differently than veterans do. They are not tied to the current setup out of loyalty or identity. They follow where the returns are. They protect what grows their investment. When they look at the current standoff, they see one player doing the heavy financial lifting while part of the workforce tries to shut everything down to limit her. That is not a dispute they feel pushed to settle in the union's favor. It is a problem they feel pushed to fix in whatever way keeps their top asset protected. And that asset has already proven she does not need the league's protection to stay relevant. The veterans also made one last mistake in how they sized up Clark's position. They assumed that because she needs a professional setting to compete, she needs this specific one. They thought her connection to the WNBA was deep enough that the threat of losing the season would pull her into their corner. But Clark has never been someone who waits for permission or approval before going out and doing her job. She did not arrive in the league looking to fit into the veteran structure. She did not change her approach during a rookie season that was made deliberately uncomfortable by people around her. She did not hold back at the Team USA qualifiers while political tension swirled in the background, and she came away with the MVP anyway. She has never needed the veterans to validate what she brings. Every time she plays, the results do that on their own. The market settled this question already. The sponsors know. The networks know. The owners know. The only group still arguing that they control the leverage is the group that has already lost it. That gap between what the veteran leadership believes and what the business reality actually is the exact point where their strategy stops working. The 2026 season either happens on terms that match the real economics of this league, or it does not happen. Both roads leave Clark in a strong position. Both roads leave the veterans worse off than they were at the start. You do not win a leverage fight from the weaker side of the table. And you especially do not win when the person you are trying to pressure has already shown the whole world